Hello students. Today we are discussing about Roland Barthes. Before entering into the video, I request all of you to please subscribe my channel. Thank you. Okay. We will start with Roland Barthes. Important concepts of Roland Barthes are death of the author, readerly and writerly text, 5 elements of semiotics. Roland Barthes is a famous structuralist, but later he turned to be a post-structuralist thinker. I will discuss about the details of such a transmission later. Okay. Okay. The first concept of Roland Barthes is readerly and writerly text. Actually, Roland Barthes has made many studies about the hermeneutics, that is the meaning of text, the functionings of text, and etc etc. And out of that studies he has made the concept that is readerly and writerly text. What is readerly text? In readerly text, meaning is already fixed. Actually, readerly text is one in which there is no active participation of the reader need not make any or think about the meaning of that work, because it's already written or fixed by the author. All the classical texts are readerly texts which are adhering to style and context. So, according to Roland Barthes, all the classical texts are readerly text because it is based upon the style and context. It is not deviating from that themes, and reader need not think about the meaning, because reader when we read the text, classical text, we can assume that will be the end of the novel or end of that fiction. So such a kind of textbook, there is no active participation from the part of the reader has to simply read the text, who can understand. There in this text there won't be any element which give the text many meanings. It is not like modern textbooks. In modern books there will be many things in and all those things would be somewhat ambiguous, somewhat in an unclear way. So we have to reader has to think more and more about the meaning of that particular motif and simile, etc etc. But in readerly text there won't be any confusion. No active participation of readers. They need not think much. These types of texts are called readerly textbooks. And what is writerly text? Writerly text has active reader participation. Means in such works, reader has to reader is very active. Reader has to think more and more. And reader interpretation is an important thing in writerly text. In these textbooks, readers are giving meaning to the textbooks. It is only the reader who is thinking that the meaning of that word would be like this, and he is assuming that it would end in such a situation. So, this is writerly text. Many postmodern works are writerly because in these works writers are selecting the ending and deciding the meaning. Sorry, many postmodern works has double endings. and many new films has two or more endings, and reader has to choose from from that one. So in postmodern text, reader is thinking more and more, and he is giving more interpretations. He is giving more meaning to that work. So there is active participation in the modern works. So these such kind of textbooks are called writerly textbooks. Here, readers are producers of the textbooks. Only the audience are giving meaning to that work, not the writer. No role of writer in writerly textbooks. He is only writing, not producing the meaning. The readers are producing the meaning in writerly textbooks. Next concept is 5 elements of semiotics. Semiotics means the study of science, and according to Roland Barthes, in every textbook there would be 5 different codes by which we can understand the different elements which are common in every textbooks. In every text there are 5 codes by which we can understand the different elements which are common in all the textbooks. We must know these codes because for every text there would be different layers of meaning. So we have to understand these 5 elements which all are in every textbooks, because in a text there are different types of meanings. There is always more than one way to read a text. In every textbook there would be many meanings. When we want to understand the other or when we want to understand the other meanings, we have to read the text again and again. When we read the text again and again, we can understand that different meanings given by that writer. So to help this, Roland Barthes says that there are different types of codes which all are common in every textbooks. Those are hermeneutic codes, pro-airetic codes, semantic codes, symbolic codes, and cultural codes. So, what is the importance of these codes is that when when we read a text, we get a different meaning for that time, and when we read the text next after some other days, we will get another meaning for that text work. For example, when we read a book at the age of 10, we may assume it in a different way. The interpretation, our interpretation will be in a different way. And when we read the same work at the age of 25, it will give us another meaning. So the meaning may change according to the changes in time and circumstances. Okay. So the hermeneutic codes, these 5 codes we can see in every textbooks. Like hermeneutic codes gives mysterious and unexplained elements. For example, in every textbook, or for example in a serial also, there would be like a suspense, like there would be a murder, but they won't show who is the killer. The killer will be shown in the next episode. So this creates an eagerness to know who is the killer, and out of this eagerness we used to watch the next episode. So this is called a hermeneutic code. there will be an unexplained element in a particular in every text, in most of the textbooks, and we have to understand what is that unexplained mysterious thing. To know about that mysterious one, we will read the continuation of that novel. Next is pro-airetic codes. Pro-airetic codes is nothing but that sequential elements of actions in every textbooks. In simple terms, in every novels or in most of the films, the story will be in a will be about the love love story between the hero and the heroine. So in every novel or in every films, there would be a hero and heroine. They will fall in love and they are facing many problems, and after all those, they will marry. This, so all these happenings has a sequential elements. These are happening by a sequence, one by one it's happening, and these sequential elements is called of elements of actions are called pro-airetic codes, and these are very similar in almost all the novels. Next is semantic codes. Semantic codes is nothing but it gives additional meanings to the original meaning of the text. Additional meaning. That means, for example, in a movie, they are showing the death of a person. So, for death or mourning, they in the film or in the novel, they will give a gloomy, sad atmosphere, or a glue in films they will give a sad music, a gloomy music. Actually this music or the sad atmosphere in the novels are giving that the impression, an impression that something bad or something sad is happened, and giving this impression is called semantic code. And these are again common in every textbooks. Next is symbolic codes. Symbolic codes is nothing but this is also similar in all it's all it happens in every textbooks or every literary works, like two opposite elements are presented are presented here. Opposite elements are rich and poor, that is richness and poverty, or working class and producing class, sorry, working class and landlords, etc., etc. For example, in every film or in many of the novels, there would be a rich girl who is loving a poor boy, a poor handsome one. So this is that richness and poverty, these two are two opposing elements which all are projected in almost all the novels or almost all the films. Such two opposing elements are called symbolic codes. Next is cultural code. Cultural code is giving extra knowledge to a work, referring extra knowledge to a work. It may be about science or maybe about culture, on anything which is giving more meanings to that particular one. Like for example, the film Titanic. Basically, this film is about a love story between two persons, that is Jack and Rose. It's a very beautiful love story. But still, in that film, we are watching all the technical sides of a ship, that shipwreck, and the and what all led to that shipwreck, and the parts of the ship. These all are they are through that film they are also giving technical knowledge to audience. So besides there is love story, but along with that they are giving the technical knowledge also. So this is called cultural codes. So these five codes are present in almost all the novels. These are the five important elements of semiotics given by Roland Barthes. Next important term is the death of the author. Here, at this context, Roland Barthes is changing his way of teaching from structuralism to post-structuralism, because here he says that only the interpretation of the reader is important, and reader's mindset may change based upon his culture, his country, his age, his living conditions, etc., etc. So due to that, meaning of meaning or an interpretation of a work, or the meaning of a word may change from reader to reader. And also he is saying that the interpretations given by the author is entirely different from the interpretation and meanings given by the reader. And at this context, we can say that Roland Barthes entered into post-structuralism, because in post-structuralism they are again and again saying that there is no fixed meaning for a particular word. Meaning may change from one to another. So there is no fixation for anything in this world. This is what Roland Barthes also says here, and he is projecting this idea through the concept or through the work called Death of the Author. So according to Roland Barthes, when reader starts to know the meaning of a work, there happens the death of the author. Here, what he means by death is the death of the ideas or meanings or interpretations of the author. And from that death, when a writer starts writing, according to Barthes, he is entering his death, and from that point, the reader is born. In a text, there will be multiple meanings. Here, what is the interpretations and the thoughts of the author is not important. What is relevant is the interpretations of the reader. So, what Barth says that a textbook has many meanings, multiple meanings, and the interpretations and the meanings given by the author is not at all important. It is irrelevant. A writer has no role in the making of meaning, but only the reader's interpretation. What reader think, what meaning reader is giving is only important in the making or construction of the meaning. So when the author's meaning comes to an end, then only the reader emerges from the text. When the writing starts, the process of author's death starts. This is what Roland says. So The death means here the death of the the meaning or the ideas of the writer, and from that moment the reader starts emerging from that. And again, another concept is when the writer starts writing, only the language is there, not the person. So, Barthes says that when the writer starts writing, he is not there. The presence of the writer is not there. Only the language is there. But this language is only a sharing. Only the language is speaking. When the author starts writing, only the interpretations of the reader starts to control the text. So here Barth says that this language only is existing there, not the there is no presence of the writer, his ideas or interpretations, and also this language also he is taking or he is sharing this language from others. That's why Barth says that no text is original. Every text uses the language which is already there in the environment. That means no textbook is an original one. The writer is using the language which is already used by many others. So every text is a copy, photocopy of the language. Every textbook is a photocopy of the language. So nothing is original in this work or in this world, and only the language is a truthful thing. This is what Roland Barthes says, and in at this point he is sharing the post-structuralist view that there nothing is true or meaningful in this world. Meaning keeps on changing day by day, and meaning keeps on changing from person to person. For example, when we read the word dog, some may think it about a normal a village dog. Some may think it uh, about a puppy, and some may think about a German Shepherd. So meaning keeps on changing according to the social status, according to the culture of the people, etc., etc. For an Australian, a bride may be different, but for we Indians, the picture of the bride give us a different picture. It is entirely different from the picture of that Australian bride. So here the meaning of the word bride keeps on changing based upon the people's age, people's country, people's culture, etc., etc. That's why Roland Barthes says that no fixed meaning for any text. Text meaning keeps on changing. I hope you have understood the main concepts of Roland Barthes. Thank you.